Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
So I would request
Good
everyone to
evening.
please mute your microphone and let's start the journey of first session under DoctorFrontierX. The first session is about practitioners, doctors, DBA, bridging the boardroom and academia. The first topic is actually an introduction about all the people who are already in the program of Doctors Business Administration, and also for the people who would like to know about, inquisitive about Doctors Business Administration, or just to know what are the latest educational transmissions we are having in the society. So this particular session will definitely be one session that will give you a complete scenario about doctors' business administration, benefits, competitive advantages, and what are the challenges you may face. So we will be trying to covering all the important points today. So today, after completing the session, you will be able to understand the structure of DBA program. You will also be able to address the challenges, business challenges, I would say, that DBA can help you to address. And also, you will be able to learn about the leadership and decision making skills under DBA program, if you are the part of it, actually. What exactly is a doctorate in business administration? Before I go ahead, many a times we have seen, I myself have witnessed that whenever I Google DBA, I get to learn many different kind of explanations and information. However, DBA is currently is going on the best, or you can say the most searched keywords on the Google. So we know that it is the hot cake in educational sector, in professional sector, in industrial sector these days. So this is actually a trailer, you can say, alteration made for business professionals. Now, when I say business professionals, let me be very clear that it actually not only means that people who are in the businesses only, it could be business in healthcare, business in information systems, artificial intelligence, data science, it could be multidiscipline. But the idea is that you are learning a professionalism in different discipline. So that's what DBA takes you to. Let's take a quick introduction about DBA. It is a path, you can say, that can lead to professional advancements in business. And this is relatively a new degree because it was just introduced in 1950 by Harvard Business School. And they gave an options to professionals who are already in their work. They can be entrepreneurs, they can be working in different firms, they could be employees, they could be, for example, just having some small businesses. But to learn and to acquire knowledge and to believe in the continuous improvement and continuous learning process, this program was gained, you can say, momentum. So Harvard Business Review, or Harvard Business School rather, I would say, is the university or the institute that gave a very good platform to grow for this particular program. So this is actually a business practice, and many times you can say that it is beyond the level of Masters of Business Administration, that you call it as MBA. So not necessarily that you have to have an MBA to do a DBA, but it's definitely a level higher because it is the foundation or the fundamental study, you can say, that eventually moves to DBA. But I again insist that while doing DBA, there are many programs which are the part of MBA can be learned during doing the DBA. So DBA is one program that is not only leading to you to your future accomplishment professionally and academically, but also it is giving you an opportunity to learn that you could have done in the past. So it is like a connectivity. It's a bridge built from past to future. So typically you can say it is related to MBA, as I said, but it is not only that, it is also giving you a practical experience and hands-on learning on academic environment where you can explore your ideas that you are already working probably, or you could explore some new ideas while applying in the challenging world and seeing that how outcomes are coming, to see if the outcomes are positive or negative and what contribution you can make in the current business scenario. So DBA is all, you can say, realistic study. Moving ahead, you definitely would like to know the distinctions of DBA. So undoubtedly, it is very highly acclaimed academic qualification where you can include, it's about professional development and business executives can reach on. PhD is slightly different from this, or you can say sometimes many scholars say that it is entirely different. But can you quickly think about the difference between PhD and DBA and give me some notification in the chat box? I would love to hear from you.
Ma'am, you want to know the difference between DB and PhD?
Yes, from your vision. What do you think? What's
Okay.
your
I
idea?
think P, PhD is also research oriented, but whereas in DBA we have very short time where we can complete this doctorate program, whereas in PhD it may take a longer than this. So for working professionals like us, it won't be feasible for us to complete the PhD along with our daily work, right? So that is why I think DBA program come into picture.
Excellent. Anyone else would like to contribute?
Hi, sorry, I mentioned DBA is more academic. Actually, it's PhD, which is more academic.
Yeah, that's right. I just noticed that you mentioned that it's other way around actually. So let's move ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
PhD, yeah, you would like to add something. Yeah, please. Go on.
No, it's okay. I thought, yeah, I just mistyped it.
All right. So let's move ahead. But by the way, can you see the screen now clearly?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the difference that PhD is more theoretical. It is based on more fundamental concepts and theories, which we actually apply and which we actually test in different modes. But we are more focusing on DBA today. So let me explain that DBA is more about practical approach. It is more applied in the current situation. It could be environmental, it could be business, it could be healthcare, as I mentioned earlier. So DBA helps the scholars that to apply the theories that we already have while doing a PhD to test and to see and to find the real outcomes, how it's working. So each one who is a part of DBA is actually contributing in the practical knowledge to the other world. So while doing a DBA, you are not only actually acquiring a qualification, rather, you are also making a huge contribution to the learning, a real learning, where your outcomes will be reflecting for others people to learn and understand and implement in their organizations or the businesses. So I would say that DBA itself is making a huge contribution in learning and sharing knowledge. I hope you all agree with me. So what exactly is DBA? It's a professional degree, as I already said, and it helps individual to expand their development, their knowledge, their business skills, and come up with some positive outcomes. So those who are pursuing, for example, this degree, they have the chance to own, to manage, to operate a business. I always say that these programs help the scholars to be a leader of their own learning, own process, own timeline. It allows also to experiment theories in the real world. And not only that, it differs from PhD in many senses because of the application, and it differs from MBA because it's a specialized branch. MBA is at the master's level, and DBA is a level higher where you acquire a knowledge, a terminology, or you can say a testimony to be a doctor. You have coursework sometimes in MBA, what I have seen in many places, and you may have some practical applications also, like you are doing summer training. But again, coming back to DBA program, it allows you to study individually in a specific area. And in a specific area, you will have the chance to contribute with new business insights. You are able to give, or you are able to build up a new strategy and a framework that can be applied to other people to follow the same framework and probably come up to a newer science or a newer study. Especially, I would like to contribute here one more aspect, the way we used to see the world before 2019, or let's say early 2020. And after 2020, the way we see world is completely different. COVID-19 has changed our vision, our idea, our perception. So knowing that DBA is one program that also encourages people to adapt changes, to adapt transmission, because the way we are growing, anytime we may encounter a challenge where we have to set up a complete different, new, or you can say breakthrough in our work environment. So this is another contribution of DBA to the young scholars, or even for the professionals who are having expertise of 10 years or 20 years, and then they are coming back to seek knowledge. As I said, DBA program is gaining momentum, gaining importance because of various competitive advantages. One of the advantage has just explained by one of the participants now. I'll just go step by step. So, you know that just now I mentioned about COVID-19 and technological changes. Apart from that, we also see globalization, complexities in organizational systems. We also say change in leadership styles and decision-making processes. So DBA is a program which is all the time keeping it equipped, keeping it updated about the market trend and the challenges, changes that are regularly and rigorously sometimes coming up. So this is a bridge again, which is trying to base on academics and focusing on professional development. So once you are a DBA graduate, I would like to say that you are able to have a progressive evidence-driven management. You will be able to foster leaders to empirical data and research techniques for decision-making processes. You will be able to bridge the knowledge gaps from, let's say, theoretical perspectives to the applications and applying those in the real industry and measuring the outcomes. You will also be using, or you will be driving innovation, bringing some contemporary research in the real world context. And you will be training executives. You will be transforming the answers in organizational changes. So you are becoming a big part of the real world while doing or while being the part of DBA program. So needless to say, the importance of DBA, it's dynamic in nature. We are not fixing to any schedule. We are not having any curriculum all the time. All this curriculum is all the time updated, depending on the transmission, depending on the needs, depending on the markets. So DBA, you can say, is a contemporary program. We have spoken a lot of advantages, but do you think all advantages are in the DBA program? I would say no. There are many challenges also. But when I see these challenges, dear participant, I would like to put these challenges as an opportunity for us to grow, as an opportunity to find solution rather than finding it as some kind of limitations. However, let's check these challenges. Balancing academic and practical objectives. Because we know that while doing a DBA program, sometimes it could be challenging having a rigorous experience in industry and finding it relevant to apply those theories in the practical sense. But again, this is an opportunity for DBA graduates or DBA experts or DBA scholars to do some kind of breakthrough in applications. Adapting to industry need, the business landscape keeps on changing, and sometimes the change is very fast. And then it's difficult to keep updating the curriculum all the time. However, we also depend on some, you can say, retrospective evidences, or what you call that evidence-based management. We see that what applications were applied in the past and what were the outcomes. Based on that, we tend to apply while having some improvements and modifications in the future and let's say in the present. So this, I would again say, it's an opportunity for us to be a part of DBA. Making it accessible, because the intense nature of DBA program is to make many professionals, making them pursue a program. Sometimes they might have a difficulty in coping up the schedule. The format is very flexible. So being apart from the institutes or being the part from knowledge giving, sometimes we find it difficult to make a kind of collaboration or giving a same pace to all the learners. And that is why sometimes we are promoting remote learning for DMA programs, because it is individual based program. Every individual has its own pace. It is quite similar to PhD also, I would say, in terms of the process of learning. But the only thing is DBA is about flexibility, time frame, flexi hours. You do your work in your timeline. So these are the advantages, I would say, rather, I would say opportunities, not the challenges. Maintaining credibility. Now, credibility is a part that is included in all the kind of curriculum. Why only DBA? But I focus more on DBA because it is critically evaluated in terms of practical experiences and practical contribution. So when you are making a practical contribution that is creating a baseline for other scholars to come in, there is a big and very important aspect called credibility. The data that you're using, the information processing you are conducting should be, you can say, ethical, should not be manipulated. It should be concrete, because you are the one who are not only creating a base, rather giving a chance for the future scholars to take it as a hypothesis. So this is very important to address these challenges when we say innovation, collaboration, and forward-thinking approach. What is a typical concentration in DBA program? We cannot restrict actually to the typical concentrations. However, I have tried to bring up few important areas, and definitely you can add more areas while you are talking to me today, or you can also have it in the chat. So depending on your school.
The screen doesn't show on my side.
Same here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we are unable to see the screen, ma'am.
Presentation doesn't show on the screen. Sorry.
Yeah, presentation
okay.
is not on the screen.
Let me see. Yeah. How about now?
Yes, it's okay now. Thank you.
Thank you
got
for
you back. Yeah.
Thank you for informing me about this. All right, I was talking about typical concentration in DBA program. So depending on your school, you can have a concentration. You can allow to incorporate your areas. It's not necessary that you should restrict to one area only. Like if you are a part of, let's say, business management, you can apply, for example, some tools and techniques from technologies in business management. You can do a concentrated study in healthcare. You can also explore for example, finance by talking about tools in financing, modeling analysis. So the area is actually not restricted. The DBA program is not restricted to any, you can say, particular discipline. However, the focus has to be a contribution in the business practices. This is very important. Now, when I say business practices, it is very, very broad term. It cannot be explained in, let's say, 1 or 2 lectures. It's very broad. It covers many things. It covers, for example, taxation. It covers rational decision making. It covers health informatics, marketing analytics, leadership management. So the focus is very, very broad. However, while you are being the part of it, you can get narrow while taking concentrated study. Now, next question is coming up, which is a doctorate in business administration worth it? Do you believe that this particular knowledge or degree or learning is worth in the current scenario? The answer is yes. There are simple reasons to that. And the most important reasons are that it includes learning, it includes latest research, theories, and applications, and qualifying a new position for you and for the others in the expert field. You can also be having a role as an instructor or a mentor in coming up generation. You can encourage for the courseworks. No matter what degree you are doing, you can also enjoy the challenges of work in the real scenario, as I explained earlier. You can check the business skills, business management skills. You can apply leadership styles in the workforce and see how it's coming up. So the entire business administration, doctors in business administration, contribute in learning in a practical way. So significantly, you can also refine your ability to identify the frame problems, how to find the solution while doing a systematic study. You can also have a competitive advantage by helping others to grow and promote in their own industries or, let's say, in another companies. So earning a DBA is earning lots of potentiality and job security in the current scenario. So what is your role in the bridging academy and industry? DBA graduates are actually, they are the bridge. They are building or bringing together the academics and industry together. They are helping either to train or get themselves trained by the theoretical knowledge and applying in the practical knowledge, how it can transform the business scenario. We can see a few examples here. For example, you can translate research into practice, taking some research and see how they are working. You can set a policy and strategy about evidence-based insight, and you can advocate the corporate strategies, how they are influencing public policies, or you can also critically analyze them. It's up to you. You can have a vision on the policies and strategies, how they are working. You can foster innovation by applying new frontline innovative practices and solutions and see how businesses are growing. You can be a mentor for future leaders after having or after completing a DBA program. You can share your experiences in industry. You can help other students to grow for the next generation, and you can actually promote the learning environment. You can promote a practical knowledge in your neighborhood. So you are actually a very important person. You have a big role to play in sharing, in encouraging, in spreading, and exploring knowledge. So adapting a new requirement of academic and business world, you see that the organizations, they compete with the leaders, and having a DBA that gives, you can say, a knowledge about contemporary life and the complexities. So they are able to have more knowledge and more learning interfaces. Apart from that, a DBA can also help you to do a rigorous academic research, do applied practices in business that can help in shaping tomorrow. It also helps in interconnecting the world I would say interconnecting a dynamic world, because we are every time witnessing changes. So you will be able to actually transform the whole scenario you are having a role of transformative and you are ensuring the academic insights, how they are translated in the meaningful way. So I have a very small exercise for you. Are you all ready to do this exercise with me?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a very simple exercise, and I will give you a situation where that you are, for example, a forefront of business innovation. You are there to take some challenges by cutting edge research. Now, what if you had an opportunity to bridge theory and practices and giving or bringing up the solutions to industry? This is my first input to you. And I will give you feedback that it is a journey of, or you can say a degree that gives you an impact, or it's a leadership impact, I would say in this way. So this activity will help you to explore essential elements of DBA, requirements, research focus, and the real world application. I would request you to take few minutes of time and just instead of one paragraph, I would say few lines explaining why DBA appeals you, what competitive advantage you see as another person. You are at the another side of the table. I see DBA with my vision. What's your vision? You can write it in the chat, or if you would like to contribute in 1 or 2 minutes, I am very, very keen to listen your ideas.
Can I say?
Yes, please.
Yeah, my idea is DBA basically empowers me to put academic side and the practical side together. So in my position, I can apply the theories. I can basically take on the challenges and see whether they are working or not. Academic people will only make the theories, and I can test them in my environment.
You can
So
see
DBA would
if
be
the
the best
theories
thing.
are positively working as it is explained by the scientists or management gurus, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone had an opportunity to actually apply the theories and to see the real application, how actually it works? For example, there is a theory of need by Maslow's hierarchy need that starts from different stages, like from physiological to security to safety, and then esteem, and then finally self-actualization. This is one example only that I have given you. Did you did you apply any theory? Can you give me an example of any theory that you have applied? For example, Michael
We did
Porter's
about
five.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did about critical thinking level when we
yeah,
were like reflecting in action, reflecting on action, and on the consequences. So things do work. Yes.
great. So you have the time to please write few lines in your chat box so that I can see that what's your vision regarding DBA and what interests you. Let's move ahead. Now, after completing this exercise, you know what can you do with DBA. Not only earning or having a degree, it also opens many doors for you, many career opportunities for you. And you will be like a strategic thinker. You will develop research skills. You will be industrial analyst. And at the same time, you can pursue your, for example, if you are a young entrepreneur or young scholars, you can also start a career as a new entrepreneur, or you can have your own consultancy. You can have a role of faculty member. So the options are many options. I have taken this data from 2021. This data is representing United States annual salaries for those you can say scholars who have done MBA. What were the changes in their salaries after completing their DBA? So this is just, you can say, a tangible motivation that I would like to explain to you, that the growth in the increment, the growth in the salary, or let's say the growth in the financial outcome is also witnessed while completing or after completing DBA. I can show you a graph that will give you a better picture. Here you can see the different professions like analyst, executives, economist, information systems manager, HR director, professors, organization managers. So these are different roles and they all have witnessed a good increment for DBA after completing the DBA program. So this should be a motivational factors for all of us to be a part of DBA. The next question comes, what will you learn in this program? However, we are having many workshops and webinars, and all the curriculum is already given on the websites of different institutions. But generally, what is expected for a scholar to learn from a DBA program? So when I say generally, here you will learn topics like leadership, decision making, all are applied, you can see. These are nothing that you can say that these are traditional topics, but rather they are based on theories and applying in the real scenario. You will also be taught, if you're part of, you can say, DBA, many modules of MBA. And the reason is simple, because many scholars coming in and becoming the part of this learning domain are not from the background of MBA. So it is very important to have some residency sessions, some dissertations, some modules that help the scholars to be equipped with the concepts in business administration. So you will find broad categories: theory, research, and problem solving. These are the three broad categories that you will be the part in the learning process. I always like to take examples from business and management, having the term DBA. So when I say business and management theories, you will be also be the part of current environment, like playing the roles of managers, having a collaboration with team. You may work at the different levels of, you can say, management hierarchy. We know there are three levels, right? One is operational, middle level, and strategic. You could be at any level, but DBA program will help you to address structured and unstructured decision makings for all the levels. So generally, we say that some examples here, but let me tell you that you are not limited to this, but you will be having entrepreneur behavior in organization, influences and limitations in executive decision making, leadership, human values, organizational culture, quality and improvement, and organizational change. So if not in the part, like not exactly like a module, but these concepts will be the part of your learning in different modules or as a module. But again, we are not limited to that. We have more broad or much more to study. Let's talk about research principles, philosophies, methods, and designs. So while doing a program, typically you will also be introduced to the courses of research methods, while these methods were not the part of the previous studies. So you will be doing, for example, studying about identifying research problems, research questions, doing a literature review, learning about qualitative and quantitative methods. You will be learning how to collect data, how to do data analysis. You could be a part of sampling study, statistics analysis. So this is a big area of study in DBA. And this is a very systematic study. It goes in simple systematic process that builds blocks of learning. And actually you are applying in your study and doing an experimental designs. In DBA, you will be learning contemporary issues and concerns, like, for example, environmental sustainability, global warming, allocation of resources, how to help or how to manage scarce resources, cultural responsiveness in workspace. This is a very latest learning going on across the globe. We have many modules in different universities you will find based on cultural responsiveness. So while doing a DBA, you will also be the part of learning these topics as a module or a topic in different modules, depending on the curriculum or the school that you are enrolled in. Here's a step that you can choose for a DBA program. I'm sure many of you must have done this kind of analysis. You will define your goal. Everyone has a different goal. We all are individuals working in different scenarios. We will check the accreditation from where we are thinking to get our, you can say, degree awarded, or from where we are trying to seek knowledge. Evaluate the program structure, if it's flexible, meeting my requirements. Access the faculty expertise. Who are your trainers? This is about credibility. What experiences, qualifications they have, what public credibility they have, what professional credibility they have. You have to do a research on that. Based on that, you will also check the industrial relevance for your work. Look at the research opportunity that you're working in, because you are making a real-time contribution. So any random topic, any topic which does not have a relevance in your interest or in your area or in your contribution, will be a defeat of the purpose. So having look at the research opportunities is very important. Compare cost and financial aid. This we all have to do, because when we are enrolling in any program, we have to do cost and benefit analysis. That is particularly individual analysis. Network and seek feedback. You can check, for example, with your scholars, your industrial people, your mentors, your people of expertise, your people of trust, confidence, and take the feedback. And one suggestion is here, which is very relevant, that feedback should be taken from the people of that particular area of specialization. If it is taken from the people who are not the part of the program or do not have the knowledge or the background, again, the purpose will be not achieved. It will be the defeat of purpose. You have to check the requirements if you are fitting in, and how to fulfill those requirements. How you may take a couple of months to meet those requirements. For example, you may do some foundation courses to meet requirements, but anyway, the admission requirements are simple, achievable, measurable, and I would say that it is like very, very, I wouldn't say easy, but I would say that manageable and could be done. And finally, you will evaluate a career support and alumni network. You always check that what is the trend going on. Based on that, you can evaluate, and you can also seek help from your previous network or alumni network. So the same I have explained here in terms of text, you can say. So define your goals, like a career advancement, research, or entrepreneurship. You have to see what would you like to go ahead. Is it in academics or industry focused? Check for the accreditation, check for the credibility and the global recognition. Evaluate the structure of the program, if it's full-time or part-time or flexi hour or online option is available as per your schedule, because we are mostly targeting professionals and academicians who are trying to enrich their knowledge. But again, this is not necessarily even the young scholars, young entrepreneurs, young students. If they are coming up as a part of it, it's definitely a competitive advantage for them, because from the beginning, they are becoming a big part of innovation. Evaluate the program structure, as I said, and then assess the faculty expertise, know about them, their publication, industrial experiences, research quality, career prospects. You can also check the relevance of industries, for example, if it is aligning with the business challenges or not. Compare the cost and financial aids, if you can have a sponsorship, scholarship, investment, loans. This is all individual search, but it's just, you can say, my support to you that these are the search process that helps you to affirm your decision. Now I have a very interesting topic here with you. Applied versus theoretical research in DBA. From the beginning, we are saying that we are applying theories in the practical nature while we are the part of DBA. Let's see how actually it can be done, or you can say what's the difference and what is expected from us after being the part of DBA. So the purpose is solve real world business problems. This is your objective in applied research. What can you do? You can check the existing theories and concepts and expand, and you can test it. For example, the focus is for practical solution. You can develop new models and framework based on the previous ones. Like you can apply evidence-based research, the models that worked very well. At the same time, you found some limitations, some shortcomings, some disadvantages that you would like to work on. So you are developing a new model to overcome those problems that were witnessed in the past. The approach could be case studies, experiments, and fieldworks in applied research. You can rely on literature review and conceptual analysis done by other experts in industries and research centers. And you can use them as your fundamental base. Outcome is actionable recommendations. You can apply academic knowledge and theory to apply, for example, you are working for checking the feasibility of any policy or public policy strategy. So you can use academic and theoretical knowledge both. Audience. The audience could be business leaders, executives, and practitioners. So in theoretical research, they are mostly scholars, researchers, and academics people. Examples, if you would like to ask from me, it improves leadership strategies in a company. And if it is theoretical, it will explain that how or what are the existing theories and how can we explore new leadership theories. We can explore it, but in applied, we apply it. Impact will be on business decisions. And in theoretical research, you will take a long term to find academic thinking and developing some, you can say, breakthrough strategies or theories. I have one more exercise for you now. This exercise is actually about identifying the business problem for your DBA dissertation. Most of you are already the part, and I'm sure you must have identified your research problem or business problem. I am naming it business problem today because I would like you to understand the difference from the beginning. I would like you to learn the difference from the beginning. So if you have already identified your problems, business problems, I would say, or if you are yet to, what is your area of interest? I request you to use your chat box and just give me some explanation about your business problem that you have identified for your DBA dissertation. In continuation to that, while you are doing this, let me explain some steps for you. How can you do that? So it is an opportunity to solve the real world business challenges by using some advanced research. You can identify the problems affecting performance, efficiency, and strategy. Consider the impact and think about how research can provide solution to create value. If you are following these three important but very critical steps, simple but critical, I would say, you will be able to come up to a very specific business problem for your DBA dissertation. For examples, you can talk about digital marketing enhancing customer engagement in competitive industries, and you can specify the industries. What strategies improve employee retention to remote work environment? Identify the strategies that you would like to apply. How does leadership style impact innovation in startups? Choose the leadership style. For example, there is a democratic leadership style. For example, there are many leadership styles. Which one would you like to apply and see? So this will help you to understand. So write down a business problem you would like for your DBA dissertation and then explain why it's important and how it's solving and it could benefit business. Would you like to take a couple of minutes to do it? Or you can, I see many chats for the response. If you would like to contribute through words, you can do that also. All right, shall we move ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what are future trends in DBA programs? We are now well through. We have learned more about and we are now having good information about it. But what is the future trends? Because what we are doing now, we believe that we will be applying in the coming time. It will help for technology integration because the entire industry is going and reshaping by digital transformation. DB program are already devising new advanced technologies to incorporate in their curriculum. So you can take the reference from resources like big data analytics, AI, machine learning, data visualization, which is actually facilitating in automatic building blocks, giving you algorithms to solve many business problems. So you have so many examples now. Focusing on sustainability and ethics, this is the very, very latest trend going on. Every programs, they are focusing on sustainability and ethics, where we, as a part of academics and industry, we have the role in social corporate responsibility. So while doing this program, we also concentrate on bringing up, you can say, sustainable form of studies, sustainable businesses, encouraging the policies, strategies, framework to be the part of sustainable business. Interdisciplinary modes of participation. Here we explain for the future that a DBA will help to incorporate many disciplines together like economics, psychology, sociology, technology, health informatics, and it would come up with, for example, some kind of contribution which will be multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary. It brings also a stronger link between industry and academia because it is keeping aligned with industry need. It is the program which is linking industry with academics, having a partnership for co-design, industry-sponsored research projects, executives mentoring opportunities. All these are the trends that we expect for DBA from now to future. And then we have a worldwide perspective that we are focusing that not only nationally but globally we see that it is aiming for international interface where opportunities to study abroad, cross-cultural research projects, having a partnership with global institutions, having the good network across and see what trends are going on and what contribution we can make from local level to the global level. So which actually means think locally and act globally. Some philosophy like that we can promote while we are talking about future trends in DBA program. So how doctorate research program can transform the business and leadership? I have few examples. These are the management scientists. They have explained the theories and what impact you can see or you can explore in the DBA. For example, Dr. John, he is for leadership and sustainability, and he worked on the problems for the companies struggling for implementing sustainable business strategies. So the impact DBA here has that the research incorporate social responsibility, help the major organizations to adopt eco-friendly business models that led to sustainable and financial and operational decisions. And the outcome was that the environmental social government at KPMG UK, they became the partner and head. So this is one very good success story that we have. Another we have from Dr. Karen about business transformation in healthcare. The problem was about inefficiencies in healthcare management that led to poor patient experiences or poor patient care. Impact was that her research focused on digital transformation in hospitals, trying to streamline processes for patient care by applying innovative management techniques. And the outcome was that healthcare organizations, they adopted new technologies, improving efficiencies and patient satisfaction. So all these stories, success stories, should help you or should be a motivation for you for a DBA program. Sometimes later, we should be giving your example here as in one of the webinar, in one of the research, how you applied a particular or how you dealt a particular problem and the solution was like a positive solution. So let's focus on that. I have two more examples here. One is from Dr. Edward for data-driven decision making, and the problem was about business was lacking a data-driven approach. The impact was that framework for integrating data analysis into business decision making was applied and developed. The example is here with you, And the outcome was that the consultants for Fortune 500 companies, we already know about 500 Fortune companies, they are now leveraging data for better profitability. A big success. And Michael Porter, he worked on entrepreneur innovation. The problem was for startups facing difficulties in scaling their business efficiently. Many of us are the part of startups. I know that. So this could be a good example for us. So the focus on DBA was to apply some growth models, providing actionable framework. And the result was that several successful technological startups are working, they are advising, and they are achieving a sustainable growth. So we have very good examples today. Let's do a last exercise for today. This exercise is like a checklist for you. Checklist to evaluate a DBA program. You can use your chat box again to let me know that which of these you have chosen as your checklist while choosing your program, or if you are not the part of DBA program yet, what could be your checklist from this that you would give importance while choosing a DBA program. So I would like to read from the chat box for your comments. And the checklist I have given here, but let me tell you, you don't have to restrict yourself to this checklist. If there is anything else that have encouraged you or is a motivating factor for you or a stimuli for you for future, have it listed in the chat box. Here are they: rigorous curriculum quality, academic rigor and curriculum quality, that you can talk about advanced business theories and applications, research methodologies, research strategies, leadership, business ethics, or if it's about faculty experience, expertise, or if it's about program flexibility and delivery format, or if it's about research opportunities and support, or if it's about industry network and career support. You can also talk about the subpoints, like when I say research opportunities, it should not be only about having a publication in some prestigious journals. It also explains the opportunities to focus on a research problem, coming up with the solution, addressing some current challenges, having a mentor who can give you some research resources, academic support, for example, in your project. All this can be, you can say, a deciding factor for you. I would like to read from your chat box that which one worked the best for you. So let's do a quick revision. In this session, we have tried to bridge theory and practice. Strategic leadership development. The DBA equips professional and advanced research skills. Techniques for preparing for higher executives and academic roles. If you're doing some kind of research, you can be a part of actionable research where you will be practically solving business problems and apply in organizational strategy. You can have enhanced professional credibility by having a degree that will combine practical as well as theoretical knowledge. Collaboration between sectors, business world, academics, and other innovative areas. You can have a career advancement, different roles you can go on: teaching, research, strategic roles, leadership roles, employee roles, management roles. There are innumerable examples for you. Impact on business society. You will influence practices, business practices, and also will be able to contribute in societal development and being or becoming or taking a role as a best manager practices, or you can come up with some better policies. Today, in this journey, where we have tried to understand DBA from all the perspectives, and also we have tried to learn that what contribution we can make and what DBA will do for us now and in future, and what roles we have to play, we have done that today. So DBA, we are fortunate to be a part of it, and DBA program is a transformative path for all of us that integrates real world business challenges with academic research. It will focus on leadership, strategic decision-making process by the help of evidence-based practices. We are focusing on evidence-based practices in Doctor of Business Administration. Apart from that, we also are contributing in filling the gap, bridging the gap between theory and practices. We are testing the theories all the time. So DBA empowers leaders to contribute meaningfully to organizational success in academics, in business world, in the global scenario. And I will conclude today that you are the leaders of your learning and future entrepreneur, future professionals, where you will be making a transformative contribution. Happy learning to all of you. And I invite you all today for the discussion if you have anything to discuss.
Can we ask questions here or on the chat only?
Okay, let me open the chat.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So now we have a different sections, right? Like a finance or marketing and other areas where we have to pick one and then we have to stick to that. So when are we going to decide that?
It's a very good question, actually. Before you start your journey for your DBA program, you have to be clear that which area you would like to explore. What is your area of interest? Let's say my area of interest is customer relationship management. At the same time, I also would like to see the applications of different technologies with respect to business world. Now, I have to take up a topic from customer relationship management. It's a huge area of study, let me tell you. I can talk about customer satisfaction. I would like to check the analytics of different brands, let's say fast moving consumer goods, and I would like to see that how customer satisfaction can be measured by the application of artificial intelligence, as an example. And I will take a particular industry to see how it's working. Is it now my job is to see that is artificial intelligence a good tool to measure the customer satisfaction or not? So I already have a theory, I already have an algorithm that is working very well, and I will be testing it that if the results or outcomes are appropriate, measurable or not. So as a leader, you have to first identify your area of interest. Once you are able to understand your area of interest, then only you can move ahead.
Okay, what is the next session, ma'am? What we will be learning in the next live session?
That is a surprise for you. You will know for that. This is like a building block. Today I explained you, or today I have given you a journey of DBA, a journal journey. It was a ride for you. Now from a journal ride, gradually we will get specific. So you will be, you will be knowing about the next session soon, which will be very interesting, let me tell you.
Is it possible to have like a weekly calendar outline to see which day we are doing what, so that we can follow through? Because at the moment, I'm not able to see anything on my dashboard.
Yeah, you are right. You are absolutely right. Give us some time. We are working on that, and definitely it is on our timeline that we have to do that. You will be receiving an entire schedule for all the live sessions with the titles and learning outcomes so that you know that what's going to come up and when.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Dr. Ashi.
Hi.
So can we also get this presentation?
Yeah, sure. You will be getting the PPTs. That was the question I read in the chat box, actually.
Yeah. So will that get uploaded also in the dashboard or relevant sources to
That's
get
the
access?
plan. That's our
Sure.
plan, because we had so many activities that probably chat was not enough for you to answer. So definitely that's the plan.
Sure. Looking forward. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Ma'am, how the credits are given, like based on the assignments or something?
Yes, please. What's the question?
How the credits, that EC credits are qualified, ma'am? Actually, the
Yeah,
activity.
for such live sessions, I wouldn't say there will be credits. It's like a journal learning, and it's you can say self-paced learning. So we need to work on that little more to give you a specific answer.
Okay, okay. So the activities or the learnings what we are doing right now in that Moodle app, is it qualified for those credits, or it's a separate
I
that will
can
be
take this
coming?
question very quickly.
Yeah,
Hi
we
all.
will be answering this. Yeah.
So all the coursework that you're doing comprises of 1/6 of your total grades.
Okay,
So
okay,
all the coursework that you're doing is helping you to develop the dissertation and leading to the dissertation, and would comprise of 1/6 of your total grade of your Doctor of Business Administration. 1/6 will be your defense, and the remaining 2/3 will be your thesis.
okay, okay,
So the strength of the thesis, so all this entire coursework is developed in a manner that you are able to strengthen your dissertation. And that will comprise at the end 2/3 of your grades. 1/6, again, I'm saying the entire coursework grades, and 1/6 is the defense. So please focus on building upon your dissertation, which is 60,000 words, which is
okay,
going to be the ultimate outcome and the most influential outcome, because your defense will also be based upon your dissertation, remember.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
so
ma'am.
please don't worry about the grades for all these courses, but then let us, put in the efforts to really converge it into the meaningful research outcome.
Yeah,
Okay.
that we call it happy learning. So we are in the learning space.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I guess that was Dr. Kanika.
Yes, I'm speaking.
Hi, Dr. Kanika. One question, actually, some of our colleagues in the meeting today asked a question. So would somebody would be helping us? For example, I have a kind of direction where I want to do this DBA course for some specific reason. And probably that's not a very well defined line which I can see online or search everywhere. Like if I'm working in a business, I want to learn about business management, that's simple. But if I have a particular kind of field which I'm looking for, and that is not very common, which could be covered in this course, but there must be some kind of platform or direction where I can look into it. So sometime can we have, or we will have some kind of guidance over there?
So the process goes like this, that your entire doctoral program in any university is related to the scientific process of research. So the guidelines, whatever sessions will happen, will help you to narrow down the scientific process of research and writing, wherein all the live sessions will be based upon, and Dr. Urshi will be able to facilitate the research methodology part of it. Then you are allocated the supervisors. Now, it is very, very hard always to, have the supervisor aligned with the narrow focus of your topic. However, there is an effort that will be made to have the supervisor who is nearby your area. But for instance, finance is a very broad topic, and I teach finance and accounting. But finance is coming and emerging as a very, very fast-paced field with the Bitcoins, or there is a fintech, there's an insurance, there's a banking. So I cannot be expected to be an expert in all the fields. So while you will have your individual supervisor allocated and you can make an effort, the good process of research, what we always say, is to have your own implementation of the research process. What it means that the niche that you're working on, whenever you are doing certain research, make a peer group of your mentors whom you can always do some interim surveys and can pick their minds while doing your entire research. We always, literally in typical universities, they call it as co-supervisors or the industry mentors that the scholars generally refer to. Here we can say that if you're doing any research and you are, for instance, studying some literature and you found some variables that are quite interesting to you, and possibly literature may not be really available in your area. So in the sessions here, you'll be guided on what are the various sources, and possibly you can discuss and have an interactive conversation with your faculty that, can you please help me find out the literature on this particular topic? There are the keywords and the Boolean's taxonomy that we can use possibly to find out the relevant research literature related to a particular area. The faculty here can also help you to identify some conceptual framework, even if the topic is new. Some derivative backward information we always get on the internet. So the teacher here will be able to tell you that. Now you read 50 research papers or 20 research papers or whatever you got. And now you got some interesting variables that and with your own experience, you want those variables to be integrated, but also some new variables to be integrated into your research hypothesis or the research questions, for instance. Now you want to validate that, right? So the validation comes from, generally what we recommend is to do some sort of testing with the experts in the market, wherein you can talk about them. It can be either a formal interview or it can be an interaction. It can be a questionnaire that can be filled in. So with this process, overall, you'll be able to build upon your research questions and the hypothesis and also validate it with the experts, along with taking the help of the faculty from here for the general live sessions and your supervisors. Is it helpful?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The only thing is, for example, my typical question was like narrowing down the line. Which heading should I be looking for? For example, one is business management. In this, we have leadership thinking and studies of various kinds. So there will be some fields. I'm basically concerned, like tourism is one of the fields. So in tourism, I'm thinking about some other kind of work, but maybe I'm not sure if that is covered by tourism, because I'm thinking about like living in remote areas, which has been a new development after the COVID-19 scenario. People were never thinking about it, that they go and live in remote areas, because there was always a kind of tendency or requirement that they have to be living in some these cities. Like, so they are
Yeah.
involved with the
So
management
now
or
there was
involved with
another
the work.
question. I got you. There was another question by one of the fellow scholars, that how you choose a specialization or how you choose the topic and how you narrow down the topic. There are though technical ways of narrowing down the topic, but what we always feel at this level when you're possessing so much of the work experience is something that you're passionate about. For instance, I'm a faculty of finance and accounting, but I don't like to research a lot into finance and accounting anymore. I like to research on education sector. I like to research upon edtech industry. I like to research upon the accreditations and the qualities and the students' engagement ways and the difference of the accreditations in the online versus the on-campus. So this is what I'm passionate about, because I am day in and day out living this. I believe that if I'm researching on these particular topics, then the outcomes and the recommendations that is coming from my research, I'll be able to implement it immediately. I'll be able to talk to our own students, and I will be able to practice something, experiment something, and then pursue something that is working well, and leave something that is not working well. So here, as you know, we all are talking about the doctoral business administration and narrowing down the topic. Somewhere this reflection, and you will see we are actually asking a lot of reflective questions, even in the study students launch course. If you might have seen, what is your organization? What are the challenges that you're facing? Who are the stakeholders who will be impacted? So these kind of questions are actually to bring up and helping you to identify. When we think in writing on paper, we are able to ourselves find our passion. And what is my recommendation as a researcher, as a guide, would be to try to identify the area that you're passionate about and that you actually have experience working in, because try not to do anything which is very hypothetical, that you do not have any background information in, and then you want to build upon that area. My supervisor always used to say, Kanika, that when I was doing my PhD, that this is the beginning of research, this is not the end of research. When we say that this journey together is the beginning of the research journey, when we are learning together what is the scientific process of research and how we identify the problem, how we write down the topic which is narrow and is doable within the given time period, and we are able to collect the data, we are able to analyze that data in the given time period. There will always be some limitations related to your research, and we have to consider all those parameters while defining your research topic. This is what for your supervisors and your faculties are. They'll be able to help you, but try to identify your own passion, in which area you want to, in finance, in what is the narrow area. Otherwise, your faculties are here to talk to you about your research topic and will be able to help you out. With so much experience in writing and publishing, like we already mentioned, that she herself has published 77 plus Scopus journals, research papers. This is really a commendable achievement. And with this, we actually, the faculties are able to learn how to help to narrow down, and also help the scholars to visualize what is the possible outcome that the scholars will be able to achieve within this given time period of 2 to 3 years. Because we can be very optimistic. For instance, I wanted to collect that much amount of the data, which is so humongous. And my my supervisor said that, Kanika, possibly first you have to see whether that data is really available or not, whether you can find a summary of the data, or you really have to handpick the data, whether if it is a case study sort of a setup, whether you'll be able to get permissions or not, whether there are any ethical constraints. So think about that before choosing out. Data collection is a very huge task in any kind of a doctoral program. So your faculty is here to help to visualize that, yes, this is doable, and here this data is possible, and hence this topic is doable within this time period, and also is quite contemporary based upon the process of literature review and the variable findings and the testing in the market. So this is an entire process. Your faculties are exported. Other than that, we try to bring in the practical experience perspective that I already told you, that your peer mentor group and your own experience, you can, bring in your own experience to really identify the topic which you're really passionate about, and will be able to talk about it. What I'm saying, does it make some sense to you?
And
Oh, yeah,
to
sure.
continue here,
Thank you.
I also would like to say that we have a systematic process to do this. We have one big study that we call it as feasibility analysis before we actually choose a topic. And everyone has to do a feasibility analysis for their own research objectives that they are planning to do in coming time. So this feasibility analysis is a very systematic and technically based approach that will help you, that will guide you to be sure, and that will also be able to support you in not only identifying your objectives that can be, met and studied and researched and actually come up with the solutions. So we say that the objectives that we choose should be measurable and should be accessible. It should be completed within the time frame. So we have a complete plan, we have a systematic study. So don't worry about that. We will be guiding you for doing a feasibility analysis. So even if your ideas are very abstract at this point of time, after completing this feasibility analysis, you will be very specific about what you intend to do in your DBA program.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. That's so knowledgeable. Thanks.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
one more input here I would like to give. We here, we believe that you all are coming in with work experience, and this is a doctoral program, and that means you have already achieved a master's in a particular domain, whether it is with the degree or whether it is with an experiential learning. Both are considered as equally relevant. And hence, right from the beginning, we'll be focusing on your scientific process of research, so that you can identify the topic and then go ahead researching more and more on the given topic. I think the timeline would look something like this. Within next 2 to 3 months, all of you would be having some topic, and when you have some topic in mind, then we'll be able to align the research supervisor, then you can refine it. Within the next 6 months, you'll have the research, 6 to 9 months, you'll have the research proposal, which research proposal generally can be visualized as chapter number 1 of the dissertation. And then you will start working on your literature and the methodology and the data collection for the next 1 year. And in the last 6 months, ideally, you will have substantial content for your doctoral thesis that you can start to finalize into the report, and then do the pre-defense and prepare for the defense, do the defense, and then submit your dissertation. This will be the approximate process. However, the doctoral research is quite independent. All of you would be able to really do it as per your own practical experience. So your personal supervisors will be able to guide you alongside in being successful into this doctoral journey. Okay, we'll have, there were some also questions like there was a paid conference. So sometimes you'll be announced the paid conferences. Sometimes there are 2 conferences in a year that we will do for our scholars, wherein we will bring the editorial team members of the journals, which will be free for all of our students. We will announce that gradually as we schedule those. One is the DBA Conclave, wherein you'll be able to get feedback from the editorial team members. The second one is the conference, which we will make it free for our students. However, conferences is okay to take the feedback, but there are many, many opportunities going forward. Dr. Urshi will take a separate session on that. There'll be many other opportunities for all of you to publish in the free journals. And I personally, recommend, okay, try to send your script to a free journal of repute. There are so many journals that do not charge any fees initially. They are the Emerald journals, they are the Sage journals. The quality of the work will have to be a little of that level, but there are opportunities. And even if they do not accept, good thing about submitting to these journals is you get feedback. And it's always, good to take at least one feedback during the entire journey. It is likely that, you're able to be successful. But then there are some paid journals. Generally, yes, you will have to pay in there, but then generally the success ratio is quite high, and they charge after the selection of the script. So Dr. Urshi will take a separate session on that. So please do not worry, this is just a start, and you'll be getting the opportunity to seek feedback from the editorial team members. We have those members in our panel. Dr. Urshi, over to you.
Thank you, Kanika. This is absolutely right. And I would like to give you many good news here that we have our own books from European Global, where I am editing the books which are indexed in Scopus and Web of Sciences, which is absolutely free for all, actually, and you can be the part of it. And definitely, I'll be sharing the link through LMS to all of you that if you would like to contribute. It's about green. I have many books actually from European Global, and all are indexed in Scopus. It's about education, quality of accreditation, digital technologies, green marketing. We have many, many areas that we are covering in these books. So apart from having a journal platforms for you, which are free journals, I would say, you also have platform where you can get your work published within European Global also. So publication shouldn't be a concern at this point of time. And we all are in a good journey, a learning journey, and we all are here to contribute in the knowledge platform.
Okay, lovely to be aware of this. So we'll keep sharing these opportunities with you, but just stay tuned. All right, then. I take your leave. I have to go.
Thank you, Dr. Kanika, for being the part of it.
Thank you, Dr. Kanika. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
nice
all.
of you.
Thank you, Dr. Urshi, for moderating this.
Thank you. So, do we have any other questions to discuss?
Can we get this class intimation one day prior to the class? Because today we get the afternoon only.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, it was posted almost a week ago on LMS, which is like the formal medium of communication. We usually do not encourage WhatsApp communication. We would like to go with a formal, with this we have to train each other. And that is the reason I identified that many of you are not aware of the session. So that was the reason we had to post on WhatsApp also. So I would encourage all my scholars.
Email is afternoon only. Even we will not get the mail also, huh?
Yeah, the technical department has tried to check on that. So for future, I would recommend that please keep on checking your EU Global student lounge. And as we have said earlier, that you will be having a calendar, a full calendar to know from the beginning that what events are coming up.
Okay, thank you.
So it will be very helpful to all of us.
Ma'am, just one quick suggestion.
Yeah,
As
sure.
we are very new to this Moodle app and that website, can we have one session to explain the settings and the way how we navigate these applications? Maybe it would be very helpful for us.
Yeah, absolutely. That is in the timeline. That is in our schedule that you will be having one session as a training, how to use LMS and Moodle. That is in our plan. Good
Okay,
that you asked this question.
thank you.
You're welcome. And I would really encourage all of you that if there is anything, any query on your mind, you can always write an email to me. And we are all in the group. I'm going to give you my email also, apart from LMS. So within a daytime, I'm replying to your email. So it would be a good communication. So you wouldn't be feeling that there is no communication or you don't know some important information.
Yeah, thank you. That would be great.
Yeah. So shall we wind up the session for today?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all the best to all of you. And looking forward to seeing you in another session with more learning and more insights. Until then, take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, Dr. Ashi. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.